Hi guys, and welcome to Making It with Dee. Welcome back if you're a return viewer. Thank you for hanging out here with me on Making It with Dee. I'm Dee, and in today's video I have a recipe for coffee cookies. And watch and see what happens. Grab your aprons, turn on your ovens, and let's get baking. We'll get started with adding the flour into the mixing bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So to the flour, we're going to add some salt. And some sugar. And I'm using brown sugar today. I mean raw sugar. It's not brown sugar, it's raw sugar. There we go. And I'll just give that a bit of a stir to mix it up with a whisk before I start adding the wet ingredients. Or not really wet ingredients, the rest of the ingredients. Okay, that's all together now. Next we're going to rub the butter, and I have some shortening that I'm going to be adding to this as well. So I'm adding 500 grams of butter. I'm supposed to rub it in to the flour and sugar mix. It's a lot of butter. Okay, now that the butter's kind of rubbed in here, in the flour, I'm going to add the shortening, and I'm going to do the same thing with the shortening, except it's a lot less shortening, so it won't be such a long process. So, watch me. 60 grams of shortening. Next step, I'm just going to allow the stand mixer to do a little bit of mixing before I add the next ingredient. Golden syrup. And I have here, how much golden syrup? 312 grams. 312.5. Got it? I'm just being extra for the haters. Being extra for the haters. And while that's mixing for another little while, I'm going to be mixing baking soda with some espresso. So we're supposed to use coffee extract, but we are using espresso. I'll be using 3 tablespoons of baking soda. 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Did you get that? 3 tablespoons of baking soda. For the haters, 3 tablespoons. We'll just put in a separate bowl here. And then I'll just add a little bit of the coffee to just get it mixing before I add this bit to that bit. Okay? Mix, mix, mix. Might not have been enough. Oh, that coffee smells so good. That coffee smells so good. So good. There you go. That's the kind of mixture that I wanted. I'll just let it mix a little bit here. I'm gonna scrape the sides, but the smell, at first I was thinking, you know, sugar, syrup, so much sweetness, but actually, now that I'm smelling it, it's balancing out the coffee, the espresso bitterness, so that's a good thing. And I've got syrup everywhere. I just poured out my vanilla essence on the counter. Don't mind me. This is just another day in the kitchen. Oh gosh, this thing's so yucky now. Whew. And the butter, the amount of butter and shortening that's gone in here, this is going to be such a beautiful cookie. Melt in the mouth, flavor, all the flavors, all the things. We'll get another chance to mix a little bit further. I'm thinking that this is it. This is the dough that I'm gonna have to press out with my cookie press, but I might add some more flour just to give it a little bit more stiffness. Just a teeny bit of flour. I'll start with half a cup and then I'll let it mix and then we'll see. I already have 5 cups of flour in here. So I don't think there's any way I can overdo it actually. So this dough now needs to stand in the fridge for a couple of hours before I press it out into onto the baking trays. So I will remove it from here, cover it in a bowl. Right guys, we're back. And I've got my dough out the fridge now. It looks like it's set and I'm ready to use my cookie press. I'm using this attachment. Okay, there we have it. I'm gonna put these babies in the oven now and bake it at 160 degrees Celsius for 10 to 12 minutes. And then I'll be back. Okay, so for the filling for between the cookies, I am going to use some dark chocolate block. Now I'm going to be using some dark chocolate and making what I always do. I'm making a little bit of a ganache, but I'm going to try and make it like a paste so that it helps the cookies stick together. So I've got these blocks here. I'm just going to melt it in the microwave slowly and then plonk it in the cream. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that this is the desired outcome. Okay, let's not pretend. I mean, I'm no stranger to fails on this channel. And I am unfortunately going to have to call this a fail. Because I don't know what happened. I can't explain it. I mean, they have spread out, obviously because of the butter, but then they flattened, and so I'm not sure that that's how it's supposed to look, or maybe it is, I have no idea. So I'm gonna try and gussy it up a little bit.
The next day.
So let me catch you up. Last night I allowed the dough to sit in the fridge for about 2 hours, but clearly that wasn't enough. I pressed the cookies out with a cookie press. Oh, look at that. And I baked it, and this is the result. And it doesn't hold its shape, look at that. And it was just a mess. So today, what I've done was I've let it sit overnight, because the recipe actually does say it needs to sit overnight in the fridge. But I had gotten other advice that an hour or two should be enough. It was not enough. And so now I have managed to salvage it, and I'm going to show you what I've done. So here's what I've done. I let it sit for an hour overnight, and then I rolled out the dough. We'll call it 1 centimeter thick. Okay, it's not 1 centimeter, it's about 1/2 centimeter. And then I used my cookie cutter and created little stars, just to add a little bit of Christmas spirit, Christmas flair, whatever you want to call it. And this goes into the oven for 10 minutes on 160 degrees, fan forced. Let's go. Let's see if I can salvage this situation. I'm gonna add some ganache into this little piping bag, and I'm just gonna see if I can do something with this. Okay, just bear with me. And that's what we call a make it work moment. I present to you Christmas coffee cookies. Ta-da! And now it is time for the taste test. Who's gonna be the sacrificial star? I'll get this one. I'm not sure that I can taste the coffee in here. I did mention when I was making it that it was very sweet, the ingredients, golden syrup, sugar, and not just a little bit, quite a bit. So I was thinking, when I caught the smell of the dough, that it was going to be coffee rich, you know, because we used espresso. And I'm having a hard time finding the coffee in this. It's tasting really sweet, like more golden syrupy than anything else. I like the color. It's a bit flat. It's not exactly the coffee cookie that I had in mind, that I thought I was making, because there's hardly any coffee taste in here. Or maybe just, I don't know, maybe it's my taste buds. I don't know what's up with this cookie, but I mean, it's edible, and it's probably the kind of cookie that you would have with coffee. let's call it that. So that's why it's called coffee cookies. I don't know. It was about to be a flop. And then I managed to salvage it. So I guess we've got edible cookies to have with coffee. So when you've got those extra Christmas guests coming around to visit, this coffee cookie maybe? Anyone? Coffee cookies? Yeah, that's my take on this coffee cookie recipe that I tried on my channel today. Thank you for hanging out here with me on Making It With Dee. Thank you for watching. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel to help me out. See you in my next video. Bye.